People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, I like young players, it's not a secret. I like young players. Few things warm my heart more than seeing a young player play at under 15s, under 16s, and go all the way up to full England internationals or international recognition or play for their first team club. Like, it happens, of course, that's the development path, but it just amazes, it never ceases to amaze me. Just the rise in it, it really, I really enjoy seeing stuff like that. And like I said, I like young players. Spurs have a couple young players that have caught my eye, man. And I know I'm an Arsenal fan, but I've said this before. If any club, especially even Spurs are down the road, if Spurs ever offered me a position as a scout or an entry-level scout or a coach or something, I'm grabbing it with both hands because I really like their philosophy, how they teach young players not only how to be footballers, but how to be young adults and things like that. I really enjoy what Spurs do as a football club and their ethos, man. It's a shame that they're the scum, but a couple have caught my eye, man. They're under 18s. I've been here before. I like Kazaya. I liked Rio Griffiths. He's left. We've been here with previously with Parrott, with what's my man's name, Marcus Edwards. We've been here many a times, and there's a good bunch of players. It's tough to break through into any club, so you can never just for all the potential. Don't mean they're gonna do it, but Dylan, I hope I said his name correctly. Dylan Markande, I like him a lot, man. One thing that he caught my eye with, he's tiny. Like, obviously, I was a short player as well, so naturally, I like to see these players. And I wouldn't say he's playing amazing, but you know when you just see little things, you're thinking, all right, this guy's a serious baller. He's a winger, he can play on either flank. Apologies, people, battery. But he can play on either flank. He's very nimble. He can evade challenges. He can stand a man up. He can turn. He's what you'd expect for. He's a pocket rocket, man. I wouldn't like to defend against him. His balance, the way he can change direction and little body feints, cute little body feints. He's a really good player, man. He's a positive runner with the ball. He showed that against Arsenal under 18s level. I'm so sure he played against Inter Milan for Spurs as well. And I do think he's of Asian descent as well, Indian descent. So he could possibly, if he goes on to international level for England, or if he chooses to play for India, or if he just progresses as a footballer, he could be someone that a lot of British Indians look at for potential inspiration to believe they can make it and stuff like that. You guys know I'm big on not only discrimination of my own and discrimination of others, but yeah, man, I think there's a real big gap when it comes to Asian footballers or a lack of Asian footballers. You've got Jan Dana, I believe, at Swansea, and Asians go hard. They love British Asians in general love football in the same way that the black man or British black man or the white man, whether it's a white Irishman, Englishman, Welshman, you get the point. It don't matter where you're from in this world, you'll be hard to find a countryman of any nationality that doesn't like football. And especially British Indians, like I have a lot of British Asian and British Indian friends in it, and they love football, they know a bear about football. But it's in the same way I said in previous videos, when I look at videos or if I look at football and I look at the touchline and I don't necessarily see people that reflect me, maybe they feel the same way, and he could be someone that possibly, yeah, can be that person, innit? I like him a lot. He's a wonderfully technically based footballer, as you'd expect from someone as small as him. He's a very good baller. He's gonna have to develop physically, but yeah, another player I like, I believe he's left-footed. I like him for slightly different reasons. I wouldn't say he's the most technically gifted, but he's not poor by any stretch. It's Harvey White. I've actually seen a family member was on trial at Spurs and I actually got to see him firsthand. And what I like about him, he's gassed. He's the right gassed. I don't know if this makes sense, but he's Spursy. You know how Spurs players, they're a bit excited, they're a bit, from start to finish, they're a bit turn up, they play on 100. He's a bit like that. And if he was playing for my team, I'd like him, and he don't back down from no one. He's fearless in his passing, not that he has expansive passing, but he's fearless in his approach. You don't care how big or small you are, he'll tackle you. When he tackles, he means it. Committed performer, team player. I like him a lot, man. I can see why Pochettino likes him as well, man. I really like his passion, man, and he picks up some smart positions and he connects football, man. He's a bit one-paced at times, but I like him a lot, man. I like Harvey White a lot, man. He plays more mature despite his young ages. He's got that captaincy thing about him, that bravado. I like him a lot, man. Probably the one I like the most, finally, would be Shea Cooper. Now, I think he's 16, 17. I was unaware of this player until I actually went on Spurs.com and saw a little glimpse as to what he's about. And obviously, I've done my research and I watched Arsenal versus Spurs' under 18s and got to see him for 90 minutes. And I like him a lot. He was at Southend. Now, I don't know if it was a thing where he was at a more reputable club. He got released and he found a home in Southend and he's made this step up again. Or if he was always at Southend. But if he was always been at Southend, he's bound to have had clubs consistently after him since the moment he signed for that club at Roots Hall. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Where were Arsenal? If Spurs did very well to sign him, whether he develops or not, where were we? Because listen, out of all the names I've said, I like him the most. I really think he is one. Again, I haven't seen much of him to be gassing in it, but I know a player when I see one, I think, and there's just something about him. When I was watching Arsenal versus, I've seen a lot of highlights over him, or a bit, but Arsenal versus Spurs is where I took him in properly in it, and I wouldn't say it was a game where you're thinking, oh, Shea Cooper, but just little things, the position. He's an Arsenal player, he's in the wrong shirt, man. The positions he takes up on the field, his passing range, the 1-2s he was playing, he's got skills, he's got technical ability. I'm not talking Brazilian 50,000 step overs. I'm talking 1-2, someone's trying to tackle him, he's body fainted, or he's done a little move and he's gone. Like, this is the sort of stuff I want to see, man. The 1-2s he was playing, he really excited me, man. Like he's a serious player, neat passes, gets involved, mucks in for the team. Like, yeah, man, he's the one I like the most out of all of them. But they're all good players, and it's tough for anyone to break through at Spurs. But they've got these three. They've got Janelle Bennett. We'll be here all day, innit? Spurs have got some Now John. Spurs are dotted with players, man. And imagine they kept Naya Kirby, a player at Palace who I believe is eventually going to break through in Palace's first team, and I want him to. He's a good player, man. But back to Spurs, yeah, Spurs' future is in good hands. Even if one person makes it to the first team level, they would have a winger. You could say there's a lack of wingers immediately at first team level, just assuming they broke through tomorrow. Central midfield, there's a spaces for central midfield. I mean, these lot should feel encouraged, because I do think Spurs' record with youth players or bringing them through is overstated. But if Harry Winks can do it, then surely they can as well. It just takes a bit of time. All three have potential, and I think all three will have good careers. And I'm most excited about Shea Cooper, to be fair with you. Shea Cooper, forgive me if I said his name incorrect. But yeah, man, Spurs fans, you lot know your players more than me, so I won't take up any more of your time. And on that note, deluded, man, I'm the best at this. I'm out.